everyone, dear learner. I, Dr. Kirti Sahu, shall discuss some of the concept of indefinite and definite integral in this video lecture. So let us start with antiderivative. So a primitive or antiderivative of a function f of x is a function, say capital F of x, such that derivative of capital F of x is a given function. So let us understand this concept with the help of an example. Find the antiderivative of x square. So as we know that derivative of x cube is 3x square. So therefore derivative of x cube by 3 will be x square. Similarly, we can have derivative of x cube by 3 plus 10 also at x cube. So in place of 10, I can take any function. Still, I'll get derivative of x cube plus by 3 plus any constant as x square. Thus, all the functions capital F of x of the form x cube by 3 plus c, where c is the constant, gives the function x square. Hence, this function capital F of x is called antiderivative. So, using this concept, let us define indefinite integral. The indefinite integral, that is integral from f of x dx of a function small f of x, stands for all possible antiderivatives of a function over the interval. That is integral f of x dx is f of x plus c, where c is the constant of integration. Small f of x means the function which is to be integrated is called integrand and dx is the differential in a symbolic meaning. Let us see what is definite integral. According to fundamental theorem of calculus 1, if f of x is a continuous function defined on the interval ab, then integral from a to b of f of x dx is the value of antiderivative at upper limit minus lower limit. So definite integral represents the limit of sum. So if we have a function which is real valued defined in the interval ab, which is divided into n number of equal parts, each of width h, then the area of first rectangle according to definition of area is base into height. That is h over here is nothing but the base and height at a point A is nothing but f of A. So that is h times f of A. Similarly, area of second rectangle will be base remains again h and height will now increase, that is by h. So f of A plus h. Okay, you can see here x1 is nothing but A plus h. So the height of this function f of x defined at this point will be f of A plus h. Similarly, we can have the area of last rectangle as h, and then at the point B, which is xn, according to it is f of A plus n minus 1 times h. So if we add all the areas of the rectangle, then we get the sum Sn. Now, here we find that there are some portions which are left in order to complete the area of rectangle. So we have to divide this rectangle into as small as possible. So we have to divide this function from A to B into as many parts as it is possible. So that is nothing but a limiting case. Therefore, integral A to B f of x dx is limit of such type of functions. So using this, we have some useful results which we'll use later on as and when required. So just remember these results. Then geometrically, definite integral is nothing but the area under the curve. Y equal to f of x bounded by the x-axis above the x-axis and the lines x equal to a and x equal to b. Similarly, we can have the area of various curves under certain conditions. And you are already aware of such areas as we have discussed in the lower classes. Do you know what is the area of the line y equal to mx plus c with x-axis between the line y x equal to 0 and x equal to a? It comes out to be, so the total length or the base will come out to be a minus 0. So a value of y at x equal to 0 plus value of y at x equal to the last point, that is a, divided by 2. So with this we have come to the end of the video.